I'm going to teach you how to do a burnout in a manual car. If you have a high horsepower rear wheel drive car, this is not difficult whatsoever. It's a little more challenging if your car is low horsepower and all-wheel drive, but I'll do my best. The first and most important thing for doing a burnout, drifting, or anything like that where you're losing traction on purpose is to turn traction control off. On my car, it's one button, turn it off. On some cars, you have to press and hold for 10 seconds, many different things. Point is, turn it off, and you'll allow the car to slip the wheels. The footwork involved with doing a burnout is very similar, but a slightly intensified version of launching your car. If you haven't seen it already, please check out our video on how to launch your car from a standstill. But essentially, you're at a standstill, you got the clutch all the way in, you got the car in first gear, and you are going to, instead of in my video I explained how in a high horsepower car like mine, I'm launching at something like 2,000 RPMs, I rev it to about 3,000, so I've given it gas to 3,000, and right when I hit 3,000, I drop the clutch very quickly. Boom. So, revving it up to 3,000, drop the clutch, and right when I drop the clutch, I'm going to be full on the gas, and that power, combined with my rear-wheel drive car, and in this case, when it is rainy, is going to create the burnout. I'm doing this when it is raining. It makes it easier because the road surface is slipperier, so you can spin the tires easier. It also does less damage on your tires, which is a great thing. In the dry, it's going to be a little bit more difficult depending upon how powerful your car is, but in general, it's just going to be a little bit more throttle response and maybe a quicker release of the clutch. So here we go. Try to make as little things around you as possible. Poles and stuff, keep it to a minimum unless you're really talented. The next thing is, if you do start going sideways, you want to keep, you can counter steer and stuff, but the main thing is get off the throttle immediately. Just let it go. If you try to slam on the brakes and put a whole bunch of inputs, you might make it worse. So when I start going sideways, I kind of loosen my grip in the steering wheel so it can kind of turn whichever way it needs to, and I release the throttle. I never do this in a place where I could crash into things if I'm going sideways, so I'm not going to go over that. I don't want to encourage you to do that, so do it where it's open. I'm going to try maybe 3,000 RPMs and see what happens. Then I'm going to release the clutch full on the gas, and you're going to notice the car is going to start to squirm, so I'm going to turn my hands a little bit left and right to counter steer or whatnot. So, all clear. Turn the wiper on real quick, give it some gas. Alright, so that was a burnout. I was spinning the rear tires. I was going forward. I did not do a standing still burnout, but that gives you the basic idea of how to do it. So again, traction control off, put the car in first gear. I'm going to rev it up to about 3,000 RPMs. Could be slightly different in your car. You might need more, you might need less. And then I'm going to dump the clutch pretty quickly. I'm going to try to hold the steering wheel straight, putting minor inputs, and I'm going to be full on the throttle. And here we go. Right at the end there, my car started to get a little bit sideways. I let off the gas to stop the burnout, and it was fine. I was not worried at all about losing control. It's all about being smooth. When you start getting squirrely and going sideways, ease off the gas, and you'll be fine. I hope you found this video entertaining and useful. It is pretty fun doing burnouts. Not my favorite thing in the world, but I had fun making it. And if you're going to practice this, do it someplace safe. I don't want to encourage doing this behavior, but certainly a fun thing to know how to do. Until next time.